Hey everyone, it's August 16th, and that means that if today's your birthday, you share with Austrian-American serial killer Jack Unterweger, known as the Vienna Woods Killer, who murdered at least 9 women beginning in the 1970s. And that is him right down there. Unterweger was born in 1951 to an American soldier and Viennese prostitute and was raised by his abusive alcoholic grandfather in a one-room cabin, often being sent out to go steal farm animals. He spent much of his time as a child surrounded by pimps and prostitutes and grew to have a hair-trigger temper, being arrested for the first time at the age of 16. He spent much of the next 9 years in and out of prison, mostly for theft, but also for pimping and sexually assaulting a prostitute. In 1974, he killed for the very first time, beating a West German woman with an iron bar and choking her to death with her bra, using a distinctive knot to tie it around her throat. Unterweger, who was illiterate, was convicted of murder and sentenced to life in prison. While behind bars, he learned to read and became a prolific writer, penning stories, poems, plays, a novel, and an autobiography that was critically acclaimed and successful amongst the public. After 15 years behind bars for murder, he was believed to have been rehabilitated and was released in 1990. Unterweger became a popular talk show guest in Europe and was hailed as a model of prison rehabilitation, and his books were used in schools to teach children about prisons. He told the press at that time, "That life is over now. Let's get on with the new." Unfortunately for everyone, that life was definitely not over, as was evidenced when an Austrian magazine hired him to write about crime in Los Angeles and sent him to the United States in 1991. As someone from Los Angeles, allow me to say that we make enough serial killers all on our own. We don't need to import them from overseas. You can keep your serial killers there at home. We have enough of them already. He brought his new 18-year-old blonde girlfriend with him and sat in a police car many times for ride-alongs, sending back articles to Austria about Hollywood prostitutes while staying at the famed Cecil Hotel, where the Night Stalker Richard Ramirez once lived. Scroll down to February 29th for his story. While here in LA, prostitutes began turning up dead, with one victim found in Boyle Heights on June 20th, then another 10 days later. On July 10th, a woman was found dead in Malibu Canyon, and all 3 had been beaten before being strangled with their own bras, which were tied with the same knot used with his first victim. Unterweger returned to Austria, and by the time anyone connected the dots between his MO and the victims, it was February of 1992, and investigators in Austria had tied him to 6 murdered prostitutes there since his release from prison in 1990, to go along with the 3 in California and 2 in the Czech Republic. An Austrian SWAT team raided his home to find out that he had left with his young girlfriend on a trip across Europe and then back to the U.S. He would periodically call the Austrian media to taunt the police, but he was finally found in Miami, where the pair went because they enjoyed watching Miami Vice. Austria agreed to try him for all 11 murders, so they were granted custody. The trial began in 1994, included testimony from FBI agents based at Quantico, and he was convicted of 9 murders. Unterweger was sentenced to life in a maximum security prison, but the next day he hanged himself in his cell with his shoelaces, using the same knot he had used to kill his victims with their bras. If this is your birthday, I hope you have a great day. Leave me a comment so I can wish you a happy birthday. If you know someone whose birthday it is today, send them this video so they can find out all about their birthday twin. And to Jack Unterweger, I say, happy birthday, you bastard.